Welcome back in, everybody. This is another episode of the Intrusive Thoughts podcast. Um, this is going to be the last NBA podcast until the next season comes, but this is a big one. I got a lot of good stuff planned for you. So much news since the last time I spoke to y'all. So much news. So much big news that I have controversial opinions about. Um, and, you know, I was hoping that LeBron signing to a team would come before I recorded this, but maybe it'll come by the time I edit it and I can just add something in. But without further ado, here's the long awaited episode 9 of the Intrusive Thoughts podcast.
I've been drifting through my mind where the silence talks. Stars fall slow in my intrusive thoughts. City lights flicker, heart sinks with the plot. Reality bends when the questions start. I hear echoes of the truth in distortion and bass. See reflections of the void when I look in my face. Every word, every pose, just a code in the fog. I'm a mirror for the madness and I talk to God. Intrusive us. They whisper, they twist, they nod. Intrusive us.
Is the Intrusive Thoughts podcast.
Now let's jump right into it, man. I mean, we're just gonna cover all the huge trades, all the huge moves. There's been a lot of them. We're gonna start small first. We're gonna talk about John Morant to the Trailblazers. I don't really know what the Blazers are thinking unless they're moving one of their guards. But I think for the price that they got a John Morant at, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. Traded Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray, two players that they would have had minimal rotational impact, but you get the potential of an absolute superstar. To pair next to Dame, and their play styles kind of, you know, they don't mimic each other. You got Ja, who's a slasher and a playmaker. You got Dame, who's a sharp shooter. I think they could complement each other better than you think. I just don't know how that guard rotation shakes up. Um, you got Dame, you got Ja, you got Scoot, you got Shaden Sharp, and you got Drew Holiday. I mean, all those five should be playing at least 20 minutes a game, but it's going to be hard to find that. I mean, we'll see how Dame plays on his way back from an Achilles injury. I mean, he won the 3-point contest, for Christ's sakes, and he was out for the season, which is crazy. So is he going to be more of an off the ball spot up shooter? Um, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I think their plan is just to acquire the talent and then figure it out later. They do have a lot of talent. I am excited to see what this team is going to do. John Morant, obviously, this is it. You got traded for that package, Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. And, obviously, you're going to start. The Blazers said that they plan to start Dame and John in the backcourt. So, obviously, you're going to start. You're making a lot of money. Your potential's through the roof. And if they can revitalize you, I think that is huge, not only for their franchise, but that's huge for you and your career. The only question I have is their spacing. Because let's just put this hypothetical out there, and their starting lineup is Dame, Ja, Denny, Tumani Kamara, Donovan Clingan. Clingan can shoot, Kamara can kind of shoot. Denny is not really a shooter; he's more of a slasher. Ja is more of a slasher, and Dame obviously can shoot. But I think the dynamic between who's going to handle the ball and who's going to spot up, I think you have to bank on a huge leap from Donovan Clingan shooting the three ball, because he's not going to be able to clog the paint, even though he kind of was a force on the offensive glass. So I don't know. I don't know what they got up their sleeves. I'm very interested to see. Shaden Sharp can shoot. Scoot, let's see if his shooting develops a little. Drew Holiday, if it were me, right? Obviously, this isn't me. I'm recording this podcast talking to you guys. I'm not the Blazers head coach. I'm not their GM or whatever. I'm starting Dame, Ja, and Drew. I think Drew can guard a small forward, especially in today's NBA. I think he's one of the better off-ball guards as well. And then you have like dynamic off the bench guards and Shaden and Scoot. That's what I would do. I would start them three with Denny at the 4, Klingon at the 5. Then off the bench, you have Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson, and Tumani Kamara, and whatever else they have, whatever, Yang Hansen or whatever, whoever else they have. But they're going to be a very interesting, fun team. You know, they made the postseason this past year. I don't think a lot of people thought that they would. They took a game from the Western Conference champions, San Antonio Spurs. So they have a lot to look forward to. If I'm a Blazers fan, I'm excited. This is the most star power I think they've had in my lifetime. You know, they had Dame, CJ, you know, LaMarcus, but star power, like Dame, Ja, Scoot has the potential for some star power. Denny, first time All-Star last year. Klingon is going to be a force in this league. I think they have a lot of things going. Maybe they're setting up for a bigger trade down the line. I don't really know. But I do think that they're going to be a team that's fun to watch, and I'm excited to watch them. The thing is, I expected the Blazers to move off one of those guards. I mean, they obviously still can. It's only July 6th. But it seems like they're not going to. I thought they were going to be in the Jaylen Brown sweepstakes, which we're obviously going to get to that trade. It's the biggest trade of this entire episode. But they have the pieces. I mean, if they want to win now, you can move off of a Shane Sharp. You can move off of a Scoot Henderson and get some valuable win now pieces. If you don't, you can move off of a Drew Holiday and, you know, see what's out there for him. He makes a lot of money. He's still a very valuable piece. I think there's a lot of things that they can do, and maybe they wanted that flexibility for, you know, when the trade deadline comes around and maybe another star becomes available. Overall, I give the Ja Morant trade a B plus for the Blazers. I mean, you gave up nothing. You got a lot back. The potential downfall, like if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. You just dump the contracts. Like whatever. You let his contract ride out, he's gone. You don't have to trade him. You don't have to, if it doesn't work out, if he's still, you know, shooting guns and throwing grenades and being a headline that you don't want, a headache that you don't want, I think you gave up nothing. So how can you lose? How could this be anything less than a B if you're the Blazers? Now, for the Grizzlies, I know you're in total rebuild mode. You got a lot of young players that a lot of people like. You got Coward, you got Cam Boozer, you got Zach Edey, you got all these dudes, right? But, like, to not even get a single second-round pick for a guy that was taking the league by storm just a few years ago, I think you could have done better. Maybe Ja's value obviously isn't as high as I thought it was. I mean, I didn't think it was the highest value in the league, but I just feel like you could have got something better back for him. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe people really just don't like the politics of it all, the politics of a Ja Morant. But I think you could have done better. So for the Blazers, I'll give it a C plus. I mean, the plus part is you got off of that contract. You wanted to. I don't know what the contract of Jeremy Grant looks like, but I'm assuming he doesn't have much left on it. Chris Murray is a solid player. Maybe he'll fit into your core. He's a little older, even though he's like a young player in the league. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this trade for the Blazers. It's not an A. It's not a home run by any means, but by the end of the year, we can look at it as potentially an A trade. But I give the Blazers B plus, Grizzlies C plus. kind of underwhelming the way this trade went down, but at the end of the day, Ja got moved. That's one superstar trade down, and there's plenty more to go. And now we're going to go to the next one. This is one that we all saw coming. Giannis going to the Heat. It was between Miami and Boston. Boston didn't want to include Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman. And I think I saw something that Giannis wanted 35% of the cap with his extension for 2 years, but Brad Stevens only wanted to give him 30. And, these little things, they seem like minuscule things, but when you have things like the second apron and you have these young players that could be so valuable just because their contracts are so low and how good and impactful they can play, I think everybody just looks at the names of the trades like, oh, you don't want to involve Hugo Gonzalez, you don't want to involve Baylor Shireman, like those two bumps. But I just think it's so much harder to fill out a roster when you have the superstar names like, the Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Giannis, whatever. They still have Derek White. It's a pretty big contract. Like, I think you have to around the margins is where you make your money, and I think Brad Stevens knows that. He's a smart dude. He drafted Hugo. He drafted Baylor Shireman. I think they both played better than anybody thought last year, and he's expecting a leap from them, which I can't blame him. And I think, during the season when these two players play crucial minutes and then it comes playoff time and they are, they're more than ready to go, I think we're going to be looking back and be like, wow, like, not like, oh, thank God we kept them and we don't have Giannis type of thing, but it's like, I think the Celtics are going to be a lot better than people expect. And, the Heat's roster, they just lost Norman Powell. They had to gut it for Giannis. They traded Khalil Ware. They traded Jaime Jaquez. They traded Tyler Hero. They traded Yakashonis. They traded a boatload of picks. The fit, to me, isn't there. Obviously, for the Heat, I'm going to give it an A+. No matter about the fit, no matter what's around them, you got Giannis. You got your superstar finally after being all these trade rumors year after year, free agency rumors year after year, superstar. They never go there. I mean, besides LeBron and Bosh back in the day, but they never go there. And you got yourself a star. Now let's see if they can surround themselves with the necessary talent. I mean, their guard play isn't really there. I don't know how they're going to work around the mark. I mean, Bam's making like 60 M's. Giannis making 60 M's. You don't have the money to really. I mean, you got Andrew Wiggins. He's solid, but you need shooting around these guys. I would treat this like the big three Miami Heat, where you just surrounded LeBron, Wade, and Bosh with shooters like Ray Allen, Mike Miller, Shane Batty, like shooters on shooters on shooters. They don't really have, like, Giannis isn't the playmaker LeBron was or is. But I think if you have shooters around you and then you have Bam and Giannis, they'll give them so. Bam loves to work in like the mid post, the low block, the little 15-foot jumpers. Giannis, obviously, we know what he is. He's a force of nature. He just is an absolute wrecking ball. But regardless of all of that, it's an A+. You get Giannis. You get the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He wants to be there. He wants to sign an extension. And I think he wants to prove to everybody that he can still win. I mean, the last few years with the Bucks have been underwhelming with injuries. And, they tried certain roster moves that didn't work out with Dame and Miles Turner. And, it's... but how can you not give the Heat an A+? And honestly, for the Bucks, right? You get the homegrown kid in Tyler Hero. You get him back to his hometown. I think he's an underrated player, regardless of if you move him to another team or not. The young players you get, like Khalil Ware, the potential's through the roof. Yakashonis, potential is up there. I love what they got back. I do think it's better than the trade that the Celtics were gonna give him, even if they got Hugo and Baylor Shireman in it. They got a boatload of picks. I think this could end up being one of those trades that's like, I'm surprised how good it went for Milwaukee. Like, I'm shocked because obviously none of those names are like A-list names, but there's a world, and I've seen some 2K rebuilds of some of my favorite creators. There's a world where the Bucks can make some noise. They could be around the play-in, and I would not be surprised. I think they have some solid players like Ryan Rollins, and they still have Miles Turner. They have Kuzma. They might move off of some of those names, and they did ship Bobby Portis to Miami with Giannis, but I think overall it's a win-win for both teams, and I don't say that often, but I'm going to say that a few times in this video. Um, I think both teams got exactly what they wanted, and for the Bucks, I'm going to give it an A minus. I can't give it an A or an A plus just for the simple fact that you're losing one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, they say this a lot, like whoever gets the best player in the trade wins, and obviously they didn't do that, but I love the assets that they acquired, and I love the direction of the team. We'll see if Ryan Rollins can make another leap. They drafted Braden Berries, I believe, which is a good two guard. I think they're gonna be another fun team to watch. I mean, the way that this league's going, there's gonna be a lot of fun young teams that may not be too competitive, but there's going to be a lot of good basketball next year. I'm very excited. So for the Bucks, A minus, Heat A plus. Congratulations on Giannis. Another trade before we get to the big bump, right? This is a pretty big trade to me, but LaMelo Ball, man. I don't think anybody saw this trade coming. There were reports. Like, as soon as there were reports that the Hornets were fielding calls for LaMelo Ball, within 24 hours, he gets traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And now I've been seeing mixed like reviews about this trade, I guess you'd call it, because some people don't view LaMelo Ball as a winning basketball player, but all the metrics prove that he is the only reason why the Hornets were as good as they were last year. He is an offensive engine, and the amount of help that Anthony Edwards is going to have, just for the simple fact that you cannot send these double teams at him like that, because LaMelo Ball will break the double teams down and find the open man every time or score for himself. He's one of the best passers in the league. They're going to be so much fun to watch off the court. Like their antics, and they're just fun. They're young, but they're so competitive and they're so talented. The one thing that so the trade. Let's just break down the trade, right? It's LaMelo Ball going to the Timberwolves, and you send Naz Reid and some picks. Was this somebody else that I'm thinking of? I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's just Naz Reid and a bunch of picks. And after losing Julius Randle, they kind of have a void at like that power forward spot. I mean, they're expecting Berenger, their young rookie from last year, to take a big leap. They got Gobert, so like their bigs are solid. Are they gonna move Jaden McDaniels down to the 4 and play, Ant-Man, DiVincenzo, LaMelo Ball lineups, Io at the 3, sometimes Terrence Shannon, he's gonna get some more playing time. I think their depth definitely needs some help, but like if they can stay healthy, which that's a big if. LaMelo Ball has rarely stayed healthy. When he has, the Hornets were good like last year. He hasn't been playing a lot of minutes. But also, I think a trade, like when you're a player of that caliber and you don't see a trade coming, and you think, he has been the heart and soul of the Charlotte Hornets ever since he got there. He's been their franchise player. I think it's gonna light a fire, dude. I think Anthony Edwards' intensity and competitiveness is not gonna let this opportunity go to waste. I think they both know how special this could be, and they are one of the best backcourts, if not the best backcourt talent-wise in the league. But like I said, this league is about what you do around the margins. They got Ayo Dosunmu, which is great resigning. You know, DiVincenzo will be coming back. They got Terrence Shannon, who every time he plays, he jumps off the screen. He's a good player. Jaden McDaniels, we know what he provides. They do need some sort of a power forward. Like, I know it's positionless, right? But you need that big guy next to Rudy Gobert that can, like, somewhat stretch the floor or somewhat handle or whatever it is, right? And yeah, man, I love this trade for the Timberwolves. I gotta give it an A. Can't give it an A plus, just because of the health factor. But I think in this time, there's rumors. There has been rumors that Anthony Edwards could grow to be frustrated, and what do they say? The scavengers or the vultures around the league are paying attention, because if he becomes available or if he asks out, the entire league is going to be throwing trades at him. He is one of the best players in the league. There's no doubt about it. And you got him a point guard that he's been needing. I mean, no offense to Mike Conley, but he's just a little old. He couldn't do it. DiVincenzo down with an injury. So this is going to be huge for them. I wonder what's next, because this can't be it. Regardless of if they go into the season with this roster, they're going to have to make some other moves around the margins, because the Western Conference is an absolute gauntlet. So I give it an A for the Timberwolves. And for the Hornets, I mean, I do like the fit with Naz Reid, right? But what are you going to do? Start Kobe White at point guard? Like, I don't think people realize, like, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, these guys, they fed off of LaMelo Ball's on-ball dominance. Like, the way he found people are like posting clips saying, "Oh, Con needs LaMelo Ball." It's like, no, but he was almost Rookie of the Year. Nobody saw it coming. Brandon Miller had one of his better years, and LaMelo Ball was on the floor for the most that he's been on the floor pretty much for his career. He's like a +9 on the floor. Like, I think you need point guard is such a valuable position, especially when you're a shooter like Con Knipple, or you're a secondary ball handler like Brandon Miller. Like, he's gonna deal with the same issues that an Anthony Edwards has, and he's not close to Anthony Edwards when it comes to talent. But I don't know, man. We'll see if Naz Reid is worth that money. You know, he's been great coming off the bench, but maybe he takes a leap as a starter in this lineup. Maybe. It's possible, right? But I don't know. I don't see this team any better than they were last year. But again, I don't really see them, I guess, much worse because of the leaps I'm expecting from Brandon Miller and Con Knipple. And their bigs are solid. They got Miles Bridges still. I mean, they'll be all right. But for them, I'm gonna give them a B minus. I'll give them a C plus, just because. Yeah, everything I just said. They did get good draft capital back. Naz Reid isn't a bad player by any means. So, yeah, yeah, it blew my mind. It blew me away that was a thing. Now let's see. Before we get to the big trade, trying to think. Just going through all the teams in my head right now. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to talk about the big trade, the one that everybody is going to be watching this episode to hear my take on. Listen, I am a Celtics fan. I am. Thunder are my team, but I'm a Celtics fan. I watch the Celtics just as much as I watch the Thunder, if not even more, because East Coast, and this is where I live, right? So the Celtics, as we all know, traded former Finals MVP Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Second team All NBA. Top 6 in MVP voting. The Celtics traded Jaylen Brown. And I have not seen one positive thing about it coming from any of my friends, any of NBA Twitter. And, I think the big thing is that they traded him to the East, like an Eastern Conference rival, the Sixers, who took the Celtics out last year in the playoffs, and the return that they got back. Now, we have to realize, right? If the return for a player of that caliber is not at least up to par of what the casual fans thinking, what in the world do you think is his value across the league? Like, if he was the guy that everybody believes he is, right? Then the trade package would not have been as subpar as everybody thinks. There's so many reports that say, I know it's an analytics league and sometimes it gets in the way of real basketball, right? But there's so many reports that talk about how GMs across the league view Jaylen Brown and how so many people viewed Derek White as the best player last year for the Celtics. But as a gambler and, watching the game and, looking at the stats and the box scores, nobody just looking at that alone would say that Derek White was the most important player for the Celtics. But I think if you are a true hooper and you actually watch the games, you could see Derek White doesn't need to score 30 points to have an impact, unless only an impact on your bank account when you're betting on him. But he doesn't need to do that, and he still is more impactful. I think Jaylen Brown, he had a phenomenal year. Somebody's got to put the ball in the damn hoop, though. Like, let's not get it twisted. Let's not act like he had some sort of a superstar coming out. Oh, my God. Like, Jason Tatum out for pretty much the year. Somebody's got to put the ball in the hoop, man. And obviously, Jaylen Brown has been the Robin to his Batman, rightfully so. He isn't a Batman by himself. Even with the Celtics doing what they did last year, he isn't a Batman by himself. And on top of that, he puts himself in these positions off the court where he's streaming and he's doing all these political things that regardless of your position. Stand up for what you believe in, stand up for your community, whatever, do all that. But you know what you're doing, man. You know you had the season that you had. You think that you have that much more leverage because you were that guy. But in the Celtics' minds and Brad Stevens' minds, it has always been Jason Tatum's team, as it should be. It will always be Jason Tatum's team. And the fact that you're even challenging that in your own mind, and you said last year was the best season you've ever had when you guys won a championship together and you won Finals MVP, but that wasn't your best year. I just think you rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And, after being floated in the Giannis rumors, and I think, there's been a few times over the past few years where you were floated around in other trade rumors. The relationship has run its course. The Jays have run their course, and he had to be moved. Now, is that the reason why they got back what they got back? I don't know. Or is it just a simple fact that he's so ball dominant, still doesn't have a left hand 10 years into the league, doesn't pass the ball? His defending has been overrated for the past probably since the Celtics won the finals. His defending has not been up there. And the only thing I agree with, where people have a big gripe with, is like, you're sending him to an Eastern Conference rival, which nobody would ever do. Unless, a little sabotage? You saw Edgecombe last year be phenomenal. You saw the growth of Tyrese Maxey. Are you stunting what they have together? I mean, the Sixers came out and said that this is Maxey and Edgecombe's team. How do you think Jaylen Brown feels about it? On top of that, Jaylen Brown, statistically and through the fans, through the coaches, whatever, had a far better year than anybody on the Sixers last year. And you're going in, you just got traded for a 36-year-old Paul George, which we'll get to that. And you probably think you're going to the Sixers to be, a big three with Maxey and Embiid, right? Sixers have already, Embiid is what he is. If he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. The Sixers just told you you are not the first important player. You are not the second important player. You're around the third most important player, along with Joel Embiid. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? How is that gonna damage or not? How is that relationship gonna go with the front office, with the coaching staff, with these other players? Is Jaylen Brown willing to take a back seat to Tyrese Maxey and Edgecombe? Because he wasn't even willing to take a back seat with Jason Tatum. So it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of teams, a lot of GMs around the league view him as a headache. I think his production does not equate his dollar value. I think there's a lot of things are overinflated. I think he could have been not a product of the Celtic system, but he definitely got boosted because of the spotlight that he was in. Rightfully so. He played great sometimes. When he's on a heater and he takes those contested mid-range and pull-up threes that he should never be taking, and they go in, like, what can you say? They go in, right? They go in. So he has been really good for the Celtics, but it's ran its course. Now let's get to what the actual trade was after my little rant with Jaylen Brown. So the Celtics got back Paul George, 2028 unprotected, 2031, I think unprotected or a pick swap, I can't remember. 2 second-round picks. Paul George, huge contract as well. Not saying he's as good of a player as Jaylen Brown or anything like that. I'm not crazy. But complimentary, like, Paul George is one of the best spot-up shooters in the league. What do the Celtics do, man? Jason Tatum breaks down the defense and makes a play. That's their go-to. They got Peyton Pritchard. They got Derek White. They love to shoot a bunch of threes. Jaylen Brown, not the best three-point shooter. I think this is more of an addition by subtraction. Like, for instance, there's a reason why the Celtics win total number is still higher than the Sixers. Everybody just looks at the names, Maxey, JB, Embiid, Edgecombe, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know. The disrespect for how good Jason Tatum is, especially from Celtics fans ever since, the finals MVP that he didn't win. Like, you guys need to really get a grip. Jason Tatum is so much better than Jaylen Brown, and it's not even funny. Like, the fact that it was even an argument amongst anybody that whose team it is, who's 1A, who's 1B. Like, Jason Tatum's about to put y'all on notice. He's about to put y'all on notice. Anyways, back to the trade. Paul George, great spot-up shooter. Honestly, you could say just as good, if not better, defensively than Jaylen Brown. He played great towards the end of the year. He did have a suspension because of his PED use, but that was just that's just what players do when they're coming back from an injury, especially at an older age. Like, it's not like it gave him superpowers. Like, he's going to be a great complementary piece, and the Celtics have made a lot of good moves around the margins. They got Mitchell Robinson, they got Mike Conley. I think Baylor Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez, who they wanted to keep and not trade for Giannis, they're going to take some big leaps. They're expecting Peyton Pritchard to take a big leap. I'm not going to say, listen, I like the trade for the Celtics. I think this is another win-win trade, but it could go badly for the Sixers. Not badly as in they won't make the playoffs, but, like, I don't think I see a championship in their future with this core. So for the Celtics, I'm going to give this trade, I'm gonna give it a B plus. I think draft picks are so much more valuable with the new lottery rules and the anti-tanking thing. And there's some language involving these draft picks that I think a lot of people are not aware of, but pretty much the Celtics could end up with a very, very good draft pick. And not only that, but they just have more assets to trade for, like a Trey Murphy, or if they want to go get another guard, or you know what I mean? Like I just think this isn't it. You got to trust in Brad Stevens. I don't know why all of a sudden Celtics fans think that they're smarter than Brad Stevens, because you're not. Simply not. He has never proved to be wrong in his choices. He makes smart move after smart move. He's being proactive instead of reactive, like all the Celtics fans. And I think this is a trade that in a couple years, maybe I'll look like an idiot for talking about this like this, but in a couple years, people are gonna be like, "Wow, like I can't believe, like, do you remember what Jaylen Brown was when he was on the Celtics? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make an All-Star team next year or in the foreseeable future. He's a great player. He could be, he might be like a DeMar DeRozan, like a Rudy Gay, like those type of players, but he's not worth 60 M's. He's not. And he's definitely not a Batman to anybody's Robin. So the fact that he's not even the 1 or the 2 next year for the Sixers, I wonder what's going to come of that. Just to say that. So B plus for the Celtics. And for the Sixers, I mean, for the price, for their perspective, they're probably saying that this is a steal. I want to give it a B plus on both sides. I mean, the upside is there. You do have the superstar talent. If Embiid stays healthy and, you get the leap from Edgecombe like you should, they got a Dean Wade who's an underrated signing. I just think there's not enough basketball to go around to make this work as seamlessly as it should. And also just going from a team like the Celtics to a team that you absolutely despise and hated and wanted to destroy and dismantle. I think no matter what, on your mentality, this is going to take a big toll. I mean, he didn't see this coming. He talked about how he went to the facility, see if he could get in. Celtics facility, that is. And he was locked out. And it's like, I don't know. Like, if this were any of you, like, how are you going to take this? You just got traded from a team you won a championship with. You just had the best season of your career in your eyes. And you got traded to one of your biggest rivals for what social media and the narrative is saying is a bag of chips. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think Brad Stevens just got ahead of this, before it was too late. And I think the Celtics will be better than people expected. I expect a MVP type campaign from Jason Tatum. But we heard about how I feel about this. Now, let's get in special guest, first guest of this podcast. Very, very, very excited, but let's bring him in. All right, cousin, thank you for coming into the podcast. This is take 2. Take 1, we had some technical difficulties, you know what I mean? But
sure did.
But let's just dive right into it. I want you to tell me why you don't like the Jaylen Brown trade.
I don't like it based off. I think we could have came out with a little more value on both player side and pick side, but also I'm not the one ringing the phones. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Brad had for offers. Like, there was rumored offers. I'm not the guy that's calling the phone. So maybe that was the best offer we had. Maybe JB is really not that guy that everyone thinks he is. But I'm still just like, we could have got a couple more picks out of it. Like, I heard at the beginning, Brad Stevens asked for VJ and Paul George and like 3 first-round picks. I mean, obviously they're going to say no to that. But going from that to just PG and 2 picks, I'm kind of just like, I don't know what we're doing here. But, we're here now. So,
but dude, the Brad Stevens press conferences, man, I don't know.
Listening to it, he was talking his his shit.
He says some good stuff. He makes. I mean, if any Celtics fans watched it or listened to it, he definitely makes a lot of good points, and I think he's just ahead of the curve. Like obviously you want to keep Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. But it's like when they take up over 2/3 of your cap space, like you're not going to be able to keep signing guys for minimums or drafting guys in like the late first round, and like it's just not going to happen.
It's tough. I looked at like the Lakers when they had Braun and Luka. I mean, they had a bunch of YMCA guys around them. I mean, it ain't gonna happen. They had a bunch of dudes from the Y.
Well, I mean, look at LeBron. Like LeBron is a different case because you have his Cavs team. You had him and Kyrie and Kevin Love, and then a bunch of minimum guys. His Heat team, him, D Wade, Bosh, a bunch of minimum guys. I just don't think that's where the league is anymore. Like
now there's a lot of talent. A lot of people aren't making minimums. Most teams are kind of
all these role players are making like a lot of money. Like you can't get like Mike Miller like level talent for like cheap, or like Ray Allen. He was on such a cheap deal for the Heat. It's like you're never gonna be able to get that.
I'm just waiting. Your OKC Thunder, man, they'll be coming to a decision soon with all that money they got to spend.
Listen, we're fine. We'll get to that. We're fine. So here's some things that I think Celtics fans should take into consideration. They're just gonna say numbers are the numbers, whatever. But last 4 seasons, Celtics are 47-10 without Jaylen Brown. Pritchard, 3 games without Jaylen Brown and with Jason Tatum. I think on the first take I said it was like 26 points. I looked it up. 29-5-5 without Jaylen Brown and with Jason.
Yeah, my boy Pritchard can mess around and win most improved.
And dude, this one is the biggest one for me. Is I saw Tatum when he has a 33% or higher usage rate. He's 76-9. 76-9.
It's time to show it this year because tell you what, Paul George's usage rate last year I think was like 16 or 17.
Like that's fine. That's fine.
I said the more that the days have been going on, now PG-13 is his official number.
Official.
I think this team can still rock. We did it without JB. We did it without JT. Why can't we do it without JB?
Right. And most people think Jason Tatum's better than Jaylen Brown if you have any sort of a brain. But if you don't think that the Celtics can win 50 games with this roster, which I saw something like the starting lineup of last year versus this year, 100 times better this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Without Tatum in it, yeah, for sure. Having Tatum back, you have so much more ability to do even different lineups too, because he's a good ball carrier. Like, look, Jaylen Brown, no left hand. That brother's got no left hand.
Jason Tatum's a better ball handler. He's a better playmaker. I think it's just honestly, right now this might be a hot take. He could be a better defender. Like. He's better.
He really could if he's locked in like that. I feel like he's more locked in on offense though than he is.
Yeah,
defense.
obviously. I mean,
JB this year wanted to come out and play defense, and his favorite season, whatever.
Yeah,
he was putting up 2K stats, and he was thinking he was like all that. I'm just like, come on, we lost in the first round.
Lost a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, talking about favorite season is like, now that ain't your favorite season. I don't want to hear you. That sounds like to me you want to go to the Memphis Grizzlies with a bunch of tataras and carry a team and try to carry a whole team. It's like no.
Well, the last thing I'm going to say about this that might make Celtics fans feel a little better is so Paul George, obviously, even if he accepts the player option, which he probably will because that's 50 M's that you're just not going to leave on the table.
Yeah.
So he'll 2028 free agency, he'll be officially off the books. And some free agents to throw out there, just like obviously you might not get all of them, but I put 5 down. You got Jokic, if he doesn't resign with the Nuggets, will be a free agent in 2028. You got Luka, which if the Lakers don't get their act together, I mean they got Walker Kessler for him, but he could be available. Donovan Mitchell, which I think would be pretty much Jaylen Brown 2.0, just a little smaller, but same kind of player-ish.
Right.
Then 2 wild cards, which Ja Morant, who just got traded to the Blazers. Who knows if they're gonna keep him and extend him? Probably not. It's probably just a trial to see how he does. If he does good, they might extend him, but who knows? And then Zion. I think Zion definitely will leave the Pelicans in 2028.
Yeah, I kind of wish the C's try to pull a trade to get Zion. I mean, you probably couldn't get a combination of him and what's his face, Trey Murphy, but I would have loved that trade. That would have been huge.
But if the Celtics come away with any one of those 5, there was other names, but the other names definitely wouldn't be available. They'll definitely re-sign or whatever.
Well, also, I'm thinking too, you got Paul George has never won a chip. Say this year goes good and they don't win a chip, he might want to restructure his deal, lower it like James Harden's doing to wait for LeBron. He could lower it and try to get another, some cap flexibility, get another guy in there.
You know what I mean? Lower 50 million. I don't know.
Hey, you don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see a couple new faces. Obviously, I was pissed at first. I'm like, it still doesn't really make sense. But
you've had days to think about it. So like right now, I think in the first take you said you gave it a C-. I think
I gave it a C-. I'm pretty sure. Or
right.
C.
You still feel that way. I mean, it's only been a couple days, but you still feel it's a C-.
I'd give it a plus now. We'll give it a C+.
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 So we're trending up. We're trending up.
I'm also looking at, we have the 28, I think it's 2028 swap between Clippers and Sixers best or whatever. I mean, hey, the Clippers roster right now, it looks like it's interesting. They got a lot of interesting names in there, but if they stink this year, I don't even think they own their draft pick in 27. I have no idea.
No, I don't believe so.
I think it goes somewhere else, I'm pretty sure. But
actually, you know what? They might because
if they do and they tank and get the next stud, then I don't know, maybe that pick, if these picks turn out god awful, I mean the other one's in like 2031, so that's going to be a while.
Because this past draft, OKC I think finally completed the Paul George trade with these draft picks. So I think they have their draft pick for this year. And they don't have it for next.
I know they got that 5th pick with Wagler.
Yeah.
Clippers. Which I forgot about him in the last take. That guy is going to be good.
I like everything about it. This draft could be very special, I think.
Yeah.
Very, very elite changing. C+ for the Celtics.
Yeah, I also just like we can do so much now with like lineups because Paul George has ball handling ability. We can play so many different lineups, double big. You could have like, I don't know, there's endless possibilities where I feel like with the Celtics, we're kind of stuck with, all right, first quarter, JB plays 12 minutes. Tatum rests halfway through, then Tatum plays 12. Now we kind of can see these lineups.
I do. I wonder how the lineups without Jason Tatum's going to look like when he's off the floor. Like, who's going to be the guy? Is that when Pritchard is the guy? Like, when Tatum's off the floor?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I mean Pritchard's really good off ball too. Most of he'd had a lot of plays where I was watching this past year. He'd be sitting in the corner, catch and shoot, bang. Like
he can
do a lot more than just be on the ball.
I think Mitchell Robinson is so perfect for Missoula ball too. Like all the threes you're hucking up, you're gonna get
that brother's just gonna sit and 3 in the key almost every time, just waiting for the ball to get shot.
Just gotta pray.
Be ready.
Gotta pray those knees hold.
I also don't know that dude seems like he gets injured a lot too. He's
every
like a
year.
Frail.
Last year was the healthiest year of his career. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, you just gotta hope Paul George, Mitchell Robinson can stay healthy for the most part. Yeah. I mean, even if they get hurt, we have pretty good depth. Like I think Ron Harper could probably make a little jump this year too because he showed some flashes. Yeah, he just hasn't really had opportunity.
But is that what we want from the we want to see Hugo Gonzalez make a
Hugo's got to really show it. I mean, Joe Mazzulla was in Spain for a reason. Like this brother better be the next coming of you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, Luka Don, the big Luka Don.
Yeah. I mean, one of these guys has to make the big leap, and then Brad Stevens will look like an absolute genius for doing this trade and letting them rock out. But
Yeah.
C plus, better than a couple days ago. That's how you know Celtics fans are so reactionary. They're always like,
Yeah, it's
"Oh my
grown on me. All these
god."
guys that are complaining that they've never picked up a GM phone call. Like I feel bad for Brad. Like he's taking the heat, but
But
I
when
think
it's
he
all
knows.
Boston sports. It's all Boston sports. The Patriots, the Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox. Immediately after a move,
Right.
everybody goes to the big names. If the Mookie, I mean, Red Sox, I get it, Mookie Betts, but who cares about baseball?
Yeah.
But like, it's just you have to wait and see. And if the Celtics pull off another trade for like Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, they might be one of the deepest teams in the league, and then you have one of
Yeah.
the best players in
I mean,
Tatum.
that interview too, that owner, Bill Chisholm, he said, we're not scared to spend money. So he's got to prove it now because if this team has a little fall off, he's going to take some heat. But I believe that guy wants what's best for the C's. Everyone's been bashing on the ownership. That guy's been to every game I've watched the Celtics play. He's front row. He's just sitting there. Like, he's not messing around either. He's a Celtics fan. So I'm sure he took it pretty hard too because
Listen,
some owners don't even go to the games. It's like you don't even see them. They just own the team.
last year nobody expected the Celtics to be as good as they were. This year's the same thing, and I just think they're gonna. The only difference is last year the win total I think was set at like 38.5 or something around there, and now it's at like 51. That's the difference with Jason Tatum. Like that is the difference.
And they're saying Brown had his best career year. I mean, you minus Tatum, you get usage rate's going to go through the roof. So I mean,
the roof.
It's like when Harden was in Houston, you had nobody to give the ball to. Dude dropped 36 a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you're gonna get your touches. You're gonna get points.
I did see that Jaylen Brown allegedly leaked to a lot of the teams that he didn't want to not trade for him. And I hate that. I hate that. That is such sabotage. I mean, I know if you want to stay at the Celtics, there's other ways to go about it, but say you don't trade for me,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is a tough one. That's definitely a tough one. I also saw some rumors. This is a off topic, but I did see like a rumor the Trailblazers could be trying to make a deal for Evan Mobley too. So I saw some rumors.
If they
got a bunch of guards,
Evan Mobley and Kling Kong down there, oh boy.
They got a bunch of guards. I think Drew Holiday is still a beast in this league. Like he's really valuable wherever he goes. He put up like 17 this year, and after having like a crap year with us, I mean, he didn't really touch the ball, so the guy could still put it in the back of the net. So
I wouldn't have been mad if Jaylen Brown got traded to the Blazers and we got Drew Holiday and like Scoot Henderson and Donovan Clingan.
Honestly, I would have took it, yeah, because Drew was guarding centers for the Celtics. Like that brother can guard anybody.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
One of the most underrated players of all time for sure.
Yeah, he's a beast.
All right, well, I mean, Celtics fans, you heard it here first. I think the confidence should be higher than it is. I think it's growing every single day. But a couple of trades I didn't talk about in the other in the original taping of the podcast, and we talked about it in the first take, was the Kawhi trade. I mean, Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and 2 firsts. That seems like a home run.
I mean, hey, Kawhi may be 35, but when that brother is healthy, you saw what he did last year.
Brandon Ingram is like younger than him, but the same health. Like he gets hurt all the time. And Grady Dick sucked for them.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, that's a W trade for the Raptors.
But honestly, W trade for the Clippers too, because I mean, Grady Dick, he's still young. He could be.
They have a super young team. Their team's, I think it's like one of their oldest players, probably like Derek Jones Jr. He's like 30.
Yeah, and it's like you traded Zubac. If you're the Clippers, you traded him and got some picks. Now you traded Kawhi and got some picks. You got Darius Garland. You got Keaton Wagler. You got Yannick Niedenhauser, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Niedenhauser, yeah.
They're going to be fun. They're not going to be good, but they're going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if free agents, a big free agent wants to go there because they're in LA and they have a fun team, a fun young team, and they will have the cap space.
Yeah, no, for sure. I also think this whole tanking thing now, the lottery system, it's going to be even crazier. Seeing these bottom feeding teams aren't going to be bottom feeding anymore. They're going to want to win.
I honestly think a lot of people are not really aware of like how big of a change the lottery is. Like this upcoming
Yeah,
like
they'll find
next
out
3
draft
years.
lottery when a team with like the 12th best odds has the first pick or something.
Yeah, because I think it's like the bottom. If you're in the bottom 2 or bottom 3, you have the same odds as like 4 through 9, or like it's something crazy. It's like you
Yeah,
can't tank anymore. You just can't.
yeah.
Now,
Which I think is good. I think it's good for the league. They need to
but
do something.
I mean, they definitely rig it sometimes. Like you're telling me, like LeBron to Cleveland and Patrick Ewing to New York and Wemby to the Spurs and D Rose to the Bulls. You're telling me that's not rigged, bro? Like, so I don't even know. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely
Cooper
see.
Flag to the Mavs after they traded Luca. Like, are you stupid?
Yeah, that one was ridiculous. That one seemed
That's
crazy. They tried to
crazy.
save Nico's ass on that one.
That's absolutely crazy. But I mean, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Luca, the other trade, Walker Kessler, 2 picks and 2 swaps is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's pretty ridiculous
He
for
better
that.
be. He better be Arvydas Sabonis. He better be.
He better be putting up more than friggin' 12 points a game, that's for sure. Because I think that's all he friggin' averaged last year.
DeAndre Ayton could do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
they need something. I mean, we'll see. Luca always makes the bigs better. So I mean,
that's the one trade I was just like, I get they needed a lobbing. They could have got DeAndre Jordan at 38 years old to go lob the ball to, for crying out.
yeah,
You're going for a Walker Kessler. I mean, yeah, I get it. The dude plays defense. Like, he's a good defender, but
he's good. He's solid. He's good.
they're going to need another score. Like, him, I know they have Austin Reeves. Like, cool, whatever. But, like, they need, like, some interior presence on, like, offense. They don't really have that. I don't know.
I know it's not like Walker Kessler has a post game.
Yeah, like you ain't feeding that brother in the post. Like
It's gonna be
you
pick and
gotta,
roll. Luca and Austin Reeves is gonna be pick and roll with Walker.
yeah,
Kessler.
their usage rate's about to be through the roof.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then Rui
know.
Hachimura also went to the Clippers too.
Yep.
Also the
I was
Clippers.
trying to think of what team he went to. He did go to the Clippers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
went to
mean
the Clippers.
that's a
They're gonna
big
be interested.
loss. That's a big loss for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bronny James, because they're saying he's improving and improving. I wonder if he's really gonna end up making like a difference. He wasn't that bad towards the end of last year for them.
No, but I also don't see like with the Lakers where are you gonna like because their best players are their guards. So it's not like I don't think they're gonna run a lineup where Doncic is playing like the three, him and Austin Reeves are in there.
No, Doncic has the ball when he's in.
Yeah, Doncic is playing like close to 40 minutes a game all year long. Like,
Do we think?
I don't know.
Do we think Dalton Connects is gonna like turn into something? Like
I don't know. I'd be pissed if I was it. They tried to get rid of me last year. Like
I know, but this
still
is your
stuck there.
time. The white boys.
I mean,
This is the
if there
white
is
boys.
a time for it, yeah, it would be his time. They signed a shit ton of people, so I'm kind of forgetting who's on.
Yeah,
that
they
team.
got oh my gosh, who did they?
Their whole roster is like completely flipped.
I'm trying to think of one name. It's a guard that I can't think of. I don't know, but they did get a lot of people, and a lot of them are gonna be like impactful rotation players.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
I
they got Mamu Kelishvili. They got Sexton, Quentin Grimes.
Sexton is who I was thinking of.
Yeah, Sexton. They just got. It's like the Trailblazers. They got mad guards. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. I mean, they can't trade for Trey Murphy, but if they could,
yeah, they need a wing bad because unless they
need
think
a wing.
Connect is that guy, like you're saying. But
what are they gonna do? Stagger? I mean, Colin Sexton's pretty good, but you're gonna have to like stagger Luca and Austin Reeves.
Yeah, and I saw the reports that they got Mamu to kind of just be like Rui, but I'm like, I don't know. Rui's
nice, dude.
Yeah, he's good.
People
he's
sleep on Rui. He could be really, really good. He accepts his role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Walker Kessler's also always hurt, and he's like hasn't really proven anything. He's played for the Jazz. He was like taking some threes, I think, last year.
Yeah, he took a couple. I don't know what that brother needs to just work on his inside game right now.
Maybe we'll be looking at this trade and be like, wow, like Rob Pelinka actually knows what he's doing. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, maybe it works. I still see them next year being in like play-in territory.
the Lakers?
Yeah.
Wow. I
Bold
wish I
take.
had a siren sound
Yeah,
effect here.
yeah.
That's a
Bold
that's a
take. They're
hot
going to be in
take.
playing territory. Luka's not staying healthy 82 games. Austin Reeves cannot do it by himself. If Doncic goes out, if Doncic is out at all, they're losing majority of those games that they
Yeah,
play
but
in the West.
how much worse is this Lakers team than like the Mavs teams that Luka was on? I mean, they're
Uh,
comparable.
yeah, I mean, they're just they got to get more size to them. If they get more size, they can convince me. But with the only wings that I know of is Mamu and Connect. Like I don't really know any other wings in there that they have still on that team. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. Stephen A. Smith, your doppelganger, was talking about them white boys ain't win
Big
nothing.
brain, man. Big
Yeah,
brain.
you're never gonna win anything with those white boys. And I'm like,
Yeah.
honestly, that's a little racist, but I kind of get it. I kind of get it. What is the last white boy to win something? Larry Bird? Like,
Yeah. I mean, hey.
I mean Jokic, I guess, but ugh, I don't know. It's weird. It's gonna like the Lakers have all white boys. Like, what do we do?
I don't know what we're doing with
But
this.
Luca might as well be black.
Yeah, he gets he definitely could pass for that.
But I don't know, like LeBron. So now we're gonna talk LeBron, the destinations. I think I saw today.
Yeah, it
Um,
got narrowed down.
I saw Bob Myers was talking about like if LeBron was in this room, I'd tell him like you can win here in Philly. I just don't. We've talked about this on the first take too. Like I just don't think that LeBron will go to Philly. I just don't. You
Yeah,
can't.
I mean,
You can't
unless
win
he
shit.
feels true basketball happiness playing. I mean, I don't what
You
his
can't.
basketball happiness. I need to know what that is like to him. You know, is it playing with a bunch of guys that are just studs, or is it playing with like your close friends, or just having fun? Like, because basketball happiness could be like you're playing with your brother Steph Curry. Like you guys are boys. Like I'd be happy doing that.
I think the only way he would leave the Lakers and say basketball happiness is that he wants the ball in his hands more than he knows that he would have it with Luca. I think he wants to be not that he wants to be like point guard LeBron like he used to be, but like he wants to have an impact. Dude, you saw him the first round of the playoffs last year. Like
Yeah.
he knows he still has some in the tank, and I
Yeah.
think he wants to take a team that nobody really sees, like a good team that nobody sees can win a championship, and lift them to maybe win a championship, like the Timberwolves. I think that to me, I think the
Yeah,
Timberwolves should
I
be
mean
the favorite.
that's like a perfect team because I mean
You can play the
their
four,
wings are kind of short now. Yeah, you can move McDaniel's to the four or
like
Braun to the
bro,
four. Yeah,
Lamelo, Ant, Jaden McDaniels, LeBron, and Rudy Gobert with Io, DiVincenzo off the bench, Darren Shannon off the bench. Like
but
that
that's
team.
also like he's not gonna is he gonna have the ball in his hands a lot with those two other guys?
That's
You know,
true. Well, that's
'cause
honestly true.
you talk about Lamelo on the Hornets. That brother was just chucking up shots left and right with the ball in his hand. That
Yeah,
brother
but you
was,
know what you could do? It's like you could stagger them. So like Ant Man, obviously, I think he's gonna have to learn to just play off the ball more because Lamelo is gonna not run the show, but like they need a point guard, so they got
yeah.
him. So I think he's gonna have to play off ball. But it's like LeBron could be the primary ball handler if him and Anthony Edwards are on the court, and if him and Lamelo are on the court together, you could
Yeah,
run pick and roll. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
mean, whatever
So
team gets him, I mean, it's going to be quite the story. There, I mean, I saw Sham say it's between Cavs, Heat, and Sixers, but I don't know how much I believe
Cavs,
that.
Heat, Sixers, get out of
Like
here.
I don't know. Like him going back to the Cavs. Now I don't see that lineup working that well. Like Mobley, Jared Allen, what James Harden. Like
No, James
I don't
Harden
know.
needs
There's
to
too many.
dominate the ball.
Yeah, it's
Like
too many guys that need the ball in their hands. Like I could say, all right, LeBron could just run the guard, like point guard, and just feed Bam and I mean, because who's stopping a LeBron and Giannis pick and roll? Like I don't know who's
nobody,
stopping that, but
nobody.
you
I
know what I
think
mean?
I think if it's not the Timberwolves, because I forgot he really won't have the ball a lot. It's gonna be the Warriors. He'll
Yeah,
have the ball with the
yeah,
Warriors.
yeah,
He can play a Draymond Green role times a million with the
yeah.
Warriors. You know what
All
I
I can
mean?
see right now is LeBron with the ball in his hand and Curry running around the whole
Yeah.
off-ball screens, just waiting to get open. Just
Jimmy Butler when
yeah,
he
that
comes
that
back, Porzingis, that Yaxel Lundenberg dude is good. Like, I think that's another
yeah.
good fit. But
It's just scary to think that no team has to clear any like money to get LeBron right now because he could just sign for
dude,
the minimum.
why couldn't he go to the like we've talked about this too? Why couldn't he go to the Celtics? Like,
Yeah, I mean, hey,
he loves
P-
Tatum. He
LeBron
loves
at
Tatum.
PG, I'll take it. LeBron at the point guard,
I think he
why
has a
not?
lot of respect for the Celtics, and even though they have a lot of like history or whatever, I think
Celtics fans, I feel like most of them would be like, "Nah, screw LeBron." They would go nuts if LeBron signed with the Celtics. Like, I don't even want to hear it. Like, even at his age, everyone would go. I would go nuts. I'd go buy
yeah,
a jersey.
yeah, dude. Everybody would. Everybody that hates LeBron would love him.
Yeah,
Love him.
yeah. I think it's gonna be. I was hoping he signed by the time we re-recorded this, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
brother
me
is taking
too.
his
But it's
time.
LeBron, so he's gonna do it when nobody expects it, when we're all asleep at midnight or something. So
Yeah. And I saw video clips of him playing golf in Miami too. I don't know how true that was,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
All right, we're
I
gonna
know
be
LeBron's loving it.
we're coming down to the stretch of thing, last stretch, final stretch. Um, two questions. You got about 5 minutes because I guess I got to upgrade to Zoom Pro to
No,
get
we're
more
cooked.
time. So
We're
we got like
cooked.
seven, really 7.5 minutes, but I just said 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, best move of the off season.
Best move of the offseason.
It could be free agent. It could be trade. It could be the draft. It could, whatever it is.
I think if I had to pick the best move.
Coach signing. It could literally be.
I mean, realistically, the best move would be the Sixers getting Jaylen Brown.
That's what you think. I mean, like
Either that,
on paper,
I'm
I
torn
agree.
between that or the Kawhi trade to the Raptors.
Yeah, I can't blame you. You don't think Giannis to the Heat?
I don't see it where like they're gonna be a playoff team, but I need to see who else they get because right now you can't convince me Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam Adebayo are gonna win you a championship. I don't know. The defense is
I'm
gonna
with
be
you.
rocks. Like you might not
It's
score
gonna
a
be
lot of
like
points,
'90s basketball. Yeah, it's
but
gonna
I
be.
I don't know. Or the LaMelo to the Timberwolves. I kind of forgot about that too because I think that team's gonna be explosive. Like they're gonna be friggin' running and gunning on offense.
I think they if they stay healthy, that's
And
gonna
like
be the
giving up
best.
Julius Randle, I mean, yeah, it kind of hurts them on
He's
the
got
like
needs.
rebounding side, yeah, but like their offense is gonna sky through the roof. You still got McDaniels, Rudy Gobert. I mean, Dante DiVincenzo's probably not playing much next year with his Achilles, but
Yeah,
he's
but
gonna come back.
he'll be back. I think he'll be back. I mean, when there's meaningful
They
basketball
also got
games.
that brother, I forget his name, that guard who just dunks on people. He's like
Terrence
a
Shannon.
yeah, that brother can get up there.
He's
Like that team's
nice.
gonna be super fun.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and last but not least, biggest surprise of the offseason. I mean, Jaylen Brown probably fits that. Let's exclude the Jaylen Brown thing
We'll exclude the Jaylen Brown.
because nobody expected him to go to Philly, obviously. So besides that, what's the biggest surprise?
I'd say that Nets trade kind of threw me off. Like getting Julius Randle, like that trade kind of made no sense. Like I think
Sneaky
it's because of the
team.
whole. Yeah,
Sneaky.
it's such a weird like Jaeger Demon though. Jaeger Demon, he's been putting up numbers in summer league.
Dude, I
Talk
got his
about a brother.
autograph.
Yeah, talk about a brother there. But yeah, that Nets trade, like the 3-way trade, like the Bulls had a really good offseason though. I'll say that
Yeah, the Bulls
they got
did.
Nick Claxton for like a second round pick.
Nick Claxton and Norman Powell going to the Bulls.
Yeah, they got a good starting five, but for the Nets, I was kind of that. That was kind of surprised. I'm like, I'm assuming it's the tanking. Like they don't want to be.
Is it bold to me to say that the Nets could maybe sniff the play-in?
That's bold. That's a bold
And
one.
just think, they have who did they get in the draft? Mikael Brown.
I think so. Yeah, they got a lot of young guys. MPJ and
Jaeger
Julius
Demon,
Randle.
MPJ, Julius Randle. I mean, Day'Ron Sharp, I think could be. He's good in 2K whenever you start him. So
Yeah, people were hyping him up too on that trade. They said
Yeah,
if that guy
he's
gets
pretty
minutes, he's
good.
good.
I might have some cards of his, some rookie cards I
Dude,
got to look at.
I got a numbered Pritchard card behind me, so to 50, I think.
Sheesh.
So yeah,
All right. Well, a little less than 4 minutes left. Just want to throw this wild card out here. Ronaldo versus Messi, talking World Cup, is not even a debate anymore. I think we could agree on that.
yeah,
And
it's pretty much wraps. Yep.
is there any like this magic that Messi's doing? Like the I just can't see anybody stopping it. I mean, obviously there's France and Spain still left, but he was down 2-0 and came back like after missing a penalty kick too. Like that's the type of stuff that's legends right there. Legends.
Yeah, I mean, some may say that game was a little rigged too. I know the FBI is investigating Argentina.
Are they actually?
I saw a report they're investigating Argentina for fraud, money
That's
laundering.
crazy.
But yeah, that brother's got juice in his legs still. It's amazing.
It's because he
I
walks
couldn't believe it.
around. He walks around, and then all of a sudden,
He's just walking. His head's moving like a.
when he gets the ball,
It's
he just
nuts.
takes off, and he takes on like 5 people.
Yeah, it's nuts. He hasn't lost a step. Like I don't know.
Insane.
Yeah, yeah, it's nuts.
Still got France winning the World Cup.
Yeah, I'd probably say France. I think Norway could also possibly be
Norway's
an
sneaky.
underdog.
Holland's a beast for sure.
Holland, yeah, he's just insane.
Well, I appreciate this, cousin, especially after a little work day, and
Cousin.
obviously we're tired.
That's it, dude. We're gonna hit the hay pretty soon. That's it, man.
Hit the hay pretty soon. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course,
you being my
Koosh.
first guest, especially for a second time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Koosh, this is huge.
So this is gonna be big. I think it's gonna be a good episode. And I told Nate at work that you're gonna be my first guest. He's very excited. So
Solid.
I'm gonna edit this all up. Probably not tonight. Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's do it. And
post
if we got, if the people want some more, hey,
post it
schedule's
Friday.
open, man.
I'm thinking about maybe rebranding the podcast, but I haven't thought about it too much because, when you look it up on YouTube, there's another intrusive thoughts, and
That's fire.
you cannot find this podcast.
That's
So
fire.
it's like I might rebrand it, but not at least until after like episode 10, which this is episode 9. I'm gonna do one more, probably solo, and then maybe I'll do a little rebranding. So we'll see, dude. Maybe I'll need
I'm
a theme
excited.
song.
All right, dude. Yeah.
Get in the booth, dude. Get in that lab, cousin.
Yeah. I think I'm retired, cousin.
That's crazy. All right. Well, tell Killa I said hi.
All right, I sure
And,
will.
you guys have a good night. Appreciate you.
Hey, cousin.
Thank you.
I got you,
for
cousin.
joining me.
All right, dude. Have a good night, cuz.
You too, cuz.
All right, catch ya.
Gotcha. This is one of the most fun episodes I got to do. Thankful for all y'all who's been watching, who's been subscribing. Appreciate everybody. Just, keep sharing it. I'm going to keep going. Got some new equipment. Got some new, we're just going to keep going. My next episode, if anybody's, interested, is going to be another UFO profiles, Jason Giorgiani. I love his ideology when it comes to UFOs and stuff. Not gonna lie, kind of fell off the UFO train because I don't even know what to believe anymore. I say this all the time, but it's like it seems like they pick and choose when to flood us with all this information. And I saw the movie Disclosure Day, give it a solid like 7 out of 10. It's a good movie, a little too long, but they know too much. They're easing us in. I think they are trying to numb the minds of like the mainstream fans that aren't as tapped into the UFO culture as like say I am or whatever. And you can see that in the movie theaters. Some people loved it. A lot of like it was like an older crowd. They loved it, but I think they're just trying to numb our generation to what's about to come. I think it could be anything from religious to actual physical phenomena. But yeah, man, this was fun. I think, we're gonna try to have more guests going forward. We'll see how this goes. Episode 10, man, on the way. I told y'all I'd have guests eventually. This is one of the most fun episodes I've had to do. And, until the next NBA season, NFL season's coming up, maybe I'll just do some random ass episodes on who knows what. But this has been another great episode of the Intrusive Thoughts podcast. Appreciate y'all for watching, and tune in for the next one.
Is the Intrusive Thoughts Podcast.